This is a brewery aeration stone for like carbonating beverages, for breweries. That's a stainless steel stone. I think it's a stainless steel. It's a high quality one for a 3/8 inside diameter hose. And I actually tied a rock here to keep the weight. I don't think I need that part, but put it in there and it makes smaller bubbles. They start producing here pretty good. But the thing is that you want to have smaller bubbles because it gets the hydrogen and electrified water plasma gas, if you want to call it that, into the water more thoroughly, faster. So, and one thing I got to say about these units, like, I guess if you're breathing the gas, you're going to really probably be taking a risk. You could measure the output, let's say at a 30-minute level, because as this heats up with the dry cell, it puts out more and more. And if you keep it at a certain level by adjusting the electrolyte, well, you could be pretty safe that way. But, on the other side, you could still make the HHO water with this, with the two bubblers, and still do the topical applications. So, it does have use. So even if you weren't going to use this for breathing the gas, it's just a bunch of little bubbles coming out of here. See? I don't have this turned up so high anymore because I don't want it at a real high production because I am breathing the gas with this too. But it's probably putting out, I don't think it's putting out 1 liter a minute, but it's putting out more than half a liter a minute. And that would be, for my lung size, where I have to watch for sparks and all this type of stuff. So it does have the backfire, the one-way check valve on it. But again, these cheap setups, this is under $200. This is an automotive kit, but it works fine for health purposes too, depending on how you use it. So if you're just going to use this to bubble water, that'll work fine too. And also the topical applications, so if you're going to use the suction cup or you're going to use the bag, put a bag over your hand and put the gas in there or something, say if you got arthritis, this will work too for under $200 if you want to put it together, including those cheap $125 Chinese welders. So you can always buy the aeration stone accessory and all this other garbage, but it's like, you can get by a lot cheaper. So I'm really testing this out first, because I think this is legit all the way, and I think it's got tremendous health potential. One of the problems I'm finding, though, is that when I look very, very carefully at watching George Wiseman's videos 3 times, all of them. I mean, some of his videos are like over an hour and a half. I watch all of them. And I noticed that, an hour a day, three 20-minute sessions, that could be therapeutical. That could get benefits. But where he got outstanding benefits, I picked up, he's doing several hours a day, which means at least 3, more like 8 or more hours a day of breathing the gas. And in one video, he admitted that he was doing 8 or 9%, which is actually what he doesn't recommend for anybody else to do. He's taking his own personal risk, which I'm realizing, I think it's not just the hydrogen that's working with this water, and I know he realizes that too. It's the electrically expanded water plasma, the water that's in the form of a plasma. It's got so many electrons in it that's donating to the body. So possibly the higher limit, which is dangerous to breathe, is, as long as you don't spark it, it's not a problem, but the higher limit is actually putting a lot more electrons into the body. Maybe that's what was giving him the ridiculously good results that he's had. So I'm going to try to breathe this for 2 or 3 hours a day at a higher limit than the 4%, but I got to be careful for sure. And You got to change out these bubblers quite a bit too. I just changed them out, the water in it this morning. I'm going to try to do that every 10 minutes. I am not making my own distilled water. I had a water distiller for a couple years and it didn't last long. I repaired it so many times. Those things you buy on Amazon made in China, those water distillers. I fixed it. I think it needs a switch now. I don't know where to buy the part. But it's, I think, $1 to buy a whole gallon of distilled water at Walmart. And like, if you change out this whole thing, it's only like, I think it's a liter or 1.2 liters. These two things together are less than a quart. So what does it cost you? You don't have to change it out that much, right? So, you know, and for what the electricity takes, for, the water distiller, I don't think you're saving crap, really. Not much. It's kind of a nuisance. The stupid thing broke. I mean, for $100 or something, I could have bought 100 gallons of distilled water. I don't even think I used it for 100 gallons. I fixed it so many times. Piece of garbage. I still got it. I still have the container for it, which the container is good because I could bubble up some HHO water, seal the container, and it'll last. Most of the charge of the HHO is still going to be in there for a day or most of the day. So it's useful for that, but not much else. So, you want to get a good quality brewery stone or one of those stainless steel stones or one of the stones that's made for the ozone machine to aerate the, when you're charging the water. You don't want to get an aquarium stone. Aquarium stone, first off, some of those cheap aquarium stones, they could turn to like dust, even though they're not supposed to. They're junk, and it's just how it is. But you can get by with this, even if you're not going to be breathing the gas. You can use something like this for drinking the water, as long as you have 2 scrubber units to scrub out, any of the HHO, electrolyte that might be getting in this vapor here. As long as you got 2 of these to scrub it out, and you change it out every 10, 20 hours, you'll be fine. So I probably will we'll see if this works out good for me over the next year. I might get the Delvis 11, that's his YouTube channel, the Hydrogen for Health unit. I mean, I like the George Wiseman unit too, but what I'm thinking is portability. I can always use this or that Chinese welder thing I got for, more output. I like the Hydrogen for Health unit because it's tiny. It only weighs, I don't know what it weighs, 6-7 pounds or something like that. You can carry it anywhere you want. And you can use it up to 4 hours. And then, you got to let it cool down for 4 hours so you could use it for. That's plenty. I mean, if I used it for freaking 8 hours a day, God, it'd be plenty as all hell. So, I might. But first, I want to see if this works really, really well. I still got this issue. You can't see it really on my finger here. My index finger on both hands. I guess you call it psoriasis. It's like a dried up skin. One of the things, and I tried putting the carbon C60 on there, the olive oil. Seems to help it a little bit. But if this thing gets rid of that, I'm going to say there's something going on with this deal. Not that I care about this, what it looks like or something, but then it's telling me it's actually doing something for me a lot. But I have been noticing I got more energy since I've been using this. And I only started using this around December 20th. And I'd say it was maybe like the 26th, December 26th, 2019, when I started using it more. Like more. So it's only, January 7th? That's all it is. So I haven't really been using it that long. I mean, a significant amount. And every single day I haven't really used it a lot. Some days I was only using it in a half an hour. So, but I have right now, I could tell you, I think this thing is actually providing more energy to me. I thought I had pretty good energy before, but I'm starting to feel like, I'm starting to feel like I was like in my 30s. And when I was in my 30s, I was more like a teenager. I was like, it seems like I'm always 20 years back, but now it seems like it's another 20 years. And I'm like thinking, God, if I look 20 more years younger than I do now, because I look about 20 years younger than my age as it is. I'm mid-60s. I don't look anywhere near my age, man. Because of a number of other things I'm doing. I think that, that's when I'm going to get convinced to buy another unit. And that's only like $1,500 or something, but I don't want to get it right now. Because to me, I got enough of this stuff, man. I got so much junk, like, of this type of thing. I mean, I got the Spooky Central. I have a half a dozen power zappers. I got the Beck Zapper. I got this Bio Tuner, the Soto Instruments Bio Tuner. I have the Magnetic Pulsar from Dr. Clark. I have an ozone machine. I have the Spooky Scaler now with the molecular. I just bought the plasma bulb for the freaking Spooky Central Rife machine. I'm like, I'll even have the, I forgot what you call it again. The one from up in Maine. That guy up in Maine that makes that, the Thunderbolt Zapper. Got that. Thunderbolt Zapper. That's why I don't want to get another device right away. I'm going to do it the cheap way for now. And we'll see how this works out. But it does seem to be working. There's Boots the Confederate Cat. By the way, I'm charging up my battery on my El Camino. It's got a dead battery. Looks like I got to get one from Walmart tomorrow. Group 27, a big one. So I got one battery charger running this thing until I get the power supply on it. And I got another battery charger back here charging my battery back there. See? It's low, man. It ain't 96% guaranteed. That's freaking low. Should be going, that should be up to 12.7 volts or something for a full charge, man. My freaking God. It's like one thing after another, man. But I seem like I got more energy like the old Energizer Bunny I used to be. And I'm talking about when I was in my 30s, man. I was like the Energizer Bunny, like an 18, 20-year-old. I'm feeling like that just from doing this. But I've also, one ace I've had is I've been taking the HHO baths. I had this thing cranked up. I had this thing cranked up to like 200 and something, way over, like 240 liters an hour. And I had it in a bath, and I was taking a bath for 3 hours, and I was watching the George Weissman videos while I was taking a bath. And I was pouring the water on my head. This thing was bubbling like crazy. I even popped the 30-amp fuse one time. That's why I took electrolyte out of it twice. I pulled out about 3/4 of that tank, and I put distilled water in there. I was like, man, I had it way up there, man. But when I took that bath, it was like, I don't know, it was a weird feeling after I was done with that. I did that a few times with the HHO bath, so that maybe gave me a good jump start on things, because I definitely feel something going on with this thing. So, but right now I just want to find out the cheap way and do it this way, because I've been demonetizing YouTube. I mean, I got money to buy stuff, but I mean, that was like my fun money, So I got to buy the Confederate cannon thing yet. Still, I got to do that, and I don't want to. I mean, I could buy this thing, but if it turns out to be a bunch of bull crap, I mean, I don't want it. I want to test it out first, because there's certain things I got, that I haven't really been using. The only thing I use all the time now is the Power Zapper. I always use the Power Zapper every day, 8 hours a day. Like that, I always do. that thing I know does stuff. And for the money, it's definitely worth it. And I've been using a spooky scaler with molecular, with the medicinal essential oils on it and Chinese herbs, sending those frequencies through my body while I'm sleeping with the power zapper going. But this thing also seems to be doing something too. So we shall see, man. I don't want to blow a lot of money and freaking get another damn device. I'm saying, what's this crap? And it, because I got a few things like the Soda Instruments Biotuner. I don't use that. I haven't used that in a freaking couple years. I haven't used a magnetic pulsar in a couple years. I haven't used the ozone machine in a couple years. I haven't used the Thunderbolt zapper because I always use the power zapper. It's easier to use. I got a bunch of Beck zappers. I haven't used those in a while. And that's why I don't want to get an ozone thing right now and spend that much money, because I'll just do it this way for now and see what happens. But initially, I think it's legit. I was watching GW's, George Wiseman's videos very, very carefully. I think this guy is 100% legit. I know he doesn't look like he's 25 years old, but he physically looks younger than he did a few years ago. That could be from other things, but then all the other things he says about warts going away, psoriasis going away, hair growing back in, color of hair coming out better, crow's feet disappearing from the skin, arthritic conditions that were coming on going away, neuropathy going away. I mean, those are just his testimonies, but there's a lot of people doing testimonies that this works. But what his stellar results were from, I think, is he was using this thing a lot. Most people will not dedicate the time to use this thing that many hours, and neither am I. What I'm thinking is, if this works, I'm going to probably get the little machine from, what do you call it, the Dell guy, Dell, whatever, from Hydrogen from Health, because if I'm going to use it a lot of hours, I want to have a small machine that I can just pick up and grab and use it over here. I'm sitting over here doing this right now. I could do this. Even if I get 5-10 minutes in here and there, all that adds up. So we shall see. But, if you want to get a bubbler stone, you can get one made for a brewery. Carbonation and stuff, you can see bubbles coming out here. And, you can get one that's made for an ozone machine. I got the other one I ordered. It's for the smaller tube. The other stone I ordered for the smaller tube, which will be working with which was actually that Chinese HHO welder. I'm just going to put another bubbler on there, and I got a stone that'll work with the 1/8 inch ID hose, the smaller hose. And I got a bunch of hose also to some other fittings and stuff and cannulas. I'm probably going to use that Chinese welder thing for breathing gas too. It is smaller than this. Basically, that's George Wiseman rebuilds that machine, but then he's putting a lot of stuff into it. That's what it starts out as. That's not the end product, but I'm going to make some adaptations to that machine. The Chinese welder will have an extra bubbler on there. I'm not going to put the full amount of electrolyte in it. I'm going to keep it a little on the low side so it's not pulling that many amps, which will keep the OHH, the hydrogen mixture, lower at a safer level. But it's going to be kind of a guesstimate, But, and I'll have, with 2 bubblers, small hose. It's not going to make it 100% safe, but it's better than it was, What can I say? But I'm not going to, we'll see. I'm anxious to find out. And the only way I'm going to find out if this works is if I do it a lot, and that's a problem. It's like, I got to go here, I got to go there, I got to do this, I got to do that. And that's one of the reasons that if I'm thinking when I buy a machine, I might get the one from, I think his name is Dell. It's Delvis11 on YouTube. Hydrogen for Health. I might get the machine Not the $2,500 one he sells, because that one splits the two and it's got the membrane. I don't think that makes the electrified plasma water, because it does hydrogen and oxygen separate. I'm going to get the one that's an HHO machine that uses like 3 grams of lye. That's good enough. I mean, you can use that 4 hours straight before it goes into on-off mode. And 4 hours is plenty. I mean, I've never done a day yet that was 4 hours. But I'm thinking with that little machine, I might be able to do some 4-hour sessions once in a while, or 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours here, because you can pick it up. It's like the size of a toaster. It's not that heavy, and that'll work. So I also got to watch if I get any leaks in here and all this crap, Yeah. So yeah, it's working pretty good. Yeah, it's working pretty good. See the bubbles? Yeah. So, I mean, cheapo setup, but it works just as good. Works just as good. Just that you're going to have to use some common sense when you're freaking dealing with this, though. That's a thing. But, like I said, we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm really anxious to. I wish I could fast forward. I wish I can get the results in a week. And I think this is going to be one of the main problems getting this going, because most people aren't going to want to invest the time. But I think once people realize that this actually does reverse age people, or at least has a lot of cosmetic effects on the skin, because it hydrates the heck out of the cells. The one people I think that are really going to get into this is women. They're going to be, I mean, not career women, but I mean, yeah, a career woman can go get wrinkles and be busy at the office all day, not doing this. And the people that are women, that are the old school women, that are housewives, and have enough, while they're, I don't know, they're cooking or something, they can, I don't know, whatever they're doing, they could be doing this. They could be doing this for several hours a day. Meantime, their husbands will be getting aged and old, and they'll be going back into, they could be 55 years old and go back to 22 and get a new guy, because that's probably what's going to happen with this deal, man. It's freaking bad news, man. Anyway, if this works for cosmetic purposes, even that alone, if it really does knock out crow's feet and sagging skin and psoriasis, age spots, blemishes, scars. That was another thing that knocked out. He got rid of scars that he was on him. It could be scars from, say a woman has let's say she has a boob job or something, right? And she's got that scar underneath there that did it the old way. And if you use this for a bunch for a year, that scar goes away. They'll be using this. I'll guarantee you. Because one thing that will sell is even if you aren't more healthy, if you look younger, people are going to go for this. It's amazing. It's probably been, I never really dug into this that much, and it was like, I knew about this for health, I knew some of the stuff, but I just thought it was, because you hear so many different things. Vitamin C is good for you, vitamin D is good for you, vitamin E is good for your skin, and magnesium and zinc and fish oil, borage oil, astragalus root, go-to cola, turmeric, the ozone therapy, whatever, the coconut oil, the avocado oil, all these different things, different types of detox agents and whatever you have, the activated charcoal. And it gets like confusing. It's why would this be better than all that other stuff? But this looks like it's in a league of itself. And I'm thinking it's not just the hydrogen. That's just because George Wiseman's saying that. I realized the George's Lakosky multi-wave oscillator works because it brings in more energies in and around us. It energizes the cells. Even the Bob Beck zapper, which doesn't work anywhere near as good as Bob Beck says, it does provide you energy by the frequencies. The Parazapper definitely provides me with energy, so I'm using it all the time. But if this thing's got electrically expanded water with all these extra electrons, that is actually working like a battery charger for all the cells in the body. And when you drink the water, you're getting some benefit, but when you breathe the gas, you're getting not just the hydrogen, you're getting those electrons from the electrically expanded water plasma. That's where this is in a league by itself. And another thing, I don't know if this is true or not, but I looked at George Wiseman's PDF or whatever it was from 2017. He says any supplements you take, which I take a lot of supplements and vitamins, they work about 1/3 better if you're doing the HHO. So I'm thinking, between me taking all the supplements, doing the spooky scalar, the Parazapper, and this, drinking the water, doing the plasma, doing the baths, doing the breathing and stuff, and the baths, I'm going to freak out if I go backwards another 20-something years and I'm looking like I'm 20 years old or something. That's going to really freak me out, but it's going to take a few years to do that at least. So we shall see. But if I get, like I said, if this thing, within a year, if this thing is really doing something really, really noticeable, like I'll look at, say, this psoriasis thing, and it might be doing something, but it's too early to tell. But again, if I can't be doing this 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, like he's doing, then maybe I'm not going to get the results in 8 months. Maybe it's going to take 2 years. I don't know. Or maybe it won't work. I don't know. So that's another question. Because if I could prove that this is working definitely on me, something significant, I'll probably get, I don't want to leave George Wiseman out of the equation because I think the guy's got a good product and everything. But what I'm attracted to the Hydrogen for Health product is the Delvis 11, whatever he's on YouTube, is that machine is so small and so light that I can just grab it and go someplace with it. And because I would just using that for breathing. Hour here, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. If I can add that up to like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day without it inconveniencing me, that would be the machine to have. So anything I'm putting out here, I'm just giving it to you in common sense. If you want to do a $2 tip or something in a PayPal and BitChute, go right ahead. Fine. I'm not going to bullcrap you around. I'm not freaking promoting any products that I don't test myself. And I guarantee you, this will be pushed to the side because our medical system is 110% freaking money orientated. That Rife technology, that does work. They'll keep telling you it doesn't. It's not even just money orientated. It's run by demons. That I swear to God, I think there's people out there that, I don't know, they don't want the human race doing well or something. I don't know what the hell it is. They're just evil. And if this thing you can prove this thing to work every which way from Sunday. I mean, it's almost like, remember I talked about the Dr. Willard water? God, I'm going too long in this video, but I know so much. I've experimented with so many of these different things. I talked about the Dr. Willard water. That's been known to work. It works on plants, it works on animals, it works on people. They've proven that this hydrogen HHO water works to help plants grow faster, fish faster, works with the fish, plants. They don't have any kind of psychological, they don't even know what's going on. They just give them this water and the plants grow better. It works, the Lakosky multi-wave oscillator, that's an expensive technology. Oh, they even have the the Skinner, what do you call that thing? Photon Genie. I mean, one of them is like $2,500, and there's another one it's a real big thing that's like $20,000. Well, something like this. I mean, even like, you know, George Wiseman even has other units out there for $1,800. You can get those too. He's got kits for like, I think $368. You can put those together. I'm just doing my own thing right now, you know. I think that guy's legit all the way. He's not BSing. And there's been a number, there's even been simple things in the past. Doctors used to prescribe iodine or iodine or iodine, how do you say that? Used to prescribe that left and right for people, for almost any kind of ailment. It's something that's short in the American diet. It's woefully short. Japanese live longer because of iodine. They have less incidence of cancer because of iodine. But, you know, if you go to a doctor, they tell you, here's a prescription for iodine, do this. No, they don't do that. You know? Because it's a low bucks. It's got to be a patented medicine. It's a racket. It started by John D. Rockefeller started all this crap. And YouTube with Susan is only pushing the authoritative quote-unquote garbage. It's all in cahoots with the freaking paid-off government and all that other stuff, you know? So, and yeah, by the way, they got my channel as hate. They did review my channel. They said it was still hate. I know what that is from. The Confederate stuff. See that flag back there? They don't like that. That's the hate. The ADL did this stuff to me. So, you know, I'm not going to play games and freaking tone things down. Now, if you want to go on BitChute, I'm going to put other videos out there. I'm going to start doing this that I'll never put on YouTube. If you want to go drop a couple dimes in there, fine. Because I'm going to really unleash on a lot of stuff that I know. And I'm not going to hold back on nothing. I am a demon from hell. I understand him like a freaking easy, real good. In a lot of ways, I do not want to do accounting again. I want to fight the freaking powers on the top. Big time. The medical powers, the political powers, the money powers. The CIA, FBI, NSA, all in cahoots with big tech. There's always been that marriage from day one. Big tech was created by the government to control people. The CIA and the NSA. Big tech was always been involved in that. This is not a tool of freedom. This is a tool of oppression. That's what it was created for. BitChute might have a little bit of freedom there, but then you got to watch. It's got discus, and it's still the NSA tracks every damn thing you say. I already know I'm on their shit list. So anyway, over and out. I did make a long ass video. Sorry.